G'day, guys, and welcome back to the JFBS Supercoach channel. And today we're going to go through my review of round one of the AFL finals. The Supercoach have implemented that a couple of weeks ago. And I'm just going to go through my players' performance, my overall team performance. And as well as you can see, I did pretty terrible. I only scored a 1,078 in my friends' league. I drew bottom with one of them, and the rest of them did about 100 points better than me. As you can see, I rank 29,000 out of 46,000. Not great at all. So hopefully it's onwards and upwards from here. Let's just go through quickly my players here. So John Clark with an 80. Now, mind you, I've been pretty busy over the weekend, so I haven't been able to watch all of the games, but I did watch the Adelaide Collingwood game and I watched the Brisbane Geelong game. The other two I didn't watch as much. John Clark, 80. Not great, in this platform. I mean, probably 80 is what you're really bottoming out for, honestly. We'll get to Dawson later, considering that he scored lower. But yeah, scored an 80. That's okay. Whitfield, I'm really sad that GWS got eliminated because there's less Hawthorn players to really go after for Supercoach finals, and there's a lot of GWS, and Whitfield's one of them. So I've got to trade out both of my defenders this week. Whitfield with 132, played fantastic, obviously. Just very disappointing that he won't be going into next week. I think Ash didn't do as great either, so let me just have a look with GWS. Yeah, Ash 112. So I made the better pick with 132 over 112. But at the same time, I could have got another 30 points going Ash over Clark. But, that's my fault, obviously. Going down to the midfielders, sorry for my language, vice captain Dawson, 76. You'd think at home against Collingwood, big crowd, captain, you'd think he'd show up and show out. After, I think it was the first half, because it was either him or Dacos I was going to go after. And, yeah, I went with Dawson. And I was obviously scared about Dacos. He scored another 40 points in him, which is really annoying. And a lot of people captained Nick Dacos. Probably not the best captain, but, this round has been pretty low considering of players. Moving on from this stinker, even though I'm going to keep him this week. Hugh McCluggage, obviously, I thought Mullen would go to Neil, but obviously he went to McCluggage. How did Neil score? I know he picked up his calf injury and he won't be playing for the rest of the... Yeah, he scored an 85, so still better than McCluggage. Disappointing. But yeah, 53. He comes up against Gold Coast. They don't have a tagger. And his last two games he played against them, he had some decent scores, even the game that they got pumped by 10 goals. Yeah, unfortunately, it was a 53, but it didn't count to my overall score because Dylan Moore scored 10 points more. Holmes over Smith was a great shout by me. A lot of people would have had a look. 84, what is it, a 48-point difference. Yeah, I'm very pleased with Holmes' performance. He played great on Friday night, better than Smith, and I'm glad I picked up the 132 for him. Unfortunately, he won't be playing this week because they won against Brisbane, but the week after, he's definitely coming back to the team. He'll be playing the winner of Adelaide and Hawthorn, and neither of them have taggers. I don't think neither of these four teams have taggers, and neither do Collingwood doesn't, and Geelong do. So it's actually an all right run for taggers for Supercoach. Meek, best ruck option, I'm pretty sure. And I saw Jackson had a high score as well. Let's go with rucks. Yeah, so my top two picks were correct, with Jackson and Meek being number 1 and 2. Blitzarves, 114, covering what's-his-face, Reece Stanley. Had a pretty good score. Witts was my other option, and Kieran Briggs scored it a lot, so shout out to that Point two that chose him. 30% did choose Luke Jackson. I was one of the 16%. Who else? A lot of people went Darcy Cameron. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, that was a good cap. That was. It would have been cool if I had him as captain. I was thinking about it, like after the video that I posted out last week. I was thinking he could be an option. Obviously, could have been better, but yeah. All right, forwards. Myers thought his second half was better than his first, scoring wise. And then Dylan Moore, obviously, his second half was so much better than his first half. He frustrated the living hell out of me. When I was at a pub, and it was about a minute to go in the second quarter, and I was like, all right, I haven't watched much of the game. I've been turning my head back and forth, talking to my mates. A few of them were watching the footy more avidly than I was. I was in a terrible position to sit with. Anyways, side ramble. I checked the score. More scores has scored a 9. So knowing that he had a 54-point second half is more promising than usual. Like that's promising going into next week. Even if he had another 20, I would have been fine. Like that would have been, I would have taken that. Anything above an 80, I would have taken. Knowing that he had a 9 in the first half really pissed me off. We'll round out with Anderson as my captain for the flex. He had a lot of disposals, I believe. I'll just double check now on my phone real quick. But yeah, disappointed that it was only a 103 and it's times 3. Could have been more. I didn't have a really high scoring dude. The highest was Holmes and Whitfield. I saw guys brought in Sarong, like 5% of people had Sarong. I guess I did all right with these two. 56% went Whitfield, and I was one of 11% that went Holmes. A lot of people would have gone Bailey Smith as well. Yeah, 44% did. Sorry, I'll just check my phone real quick. How many disposals did Noah Anderson have? But yeah, shout out to that 23 that went Dempsey. That was a really funny shout there. Anderson 32, which is a bit disappointing. I was thinking Zorko, going back to it. I'm going to bring him in this week. Spoiler alert for upcoming video. A lot of people went Thilthorpe, made that stupid decision going bloody Dylan Moore over him. That really bit me in the butt. Dunkley, 22% went Dunkley. That was smart. He's always a safe option considering he never gets tags against teams because they always go McCluggage or Neil. Ash did well. Dacos did well. Like 100 is perfect with what you need. Yeah, not great. Ewan's 107. That's big. But yeah, captained Noah Anderson. Bit annoying. Could have scored more, like way more for 32 disposals. He must have had a few turnovers. But yeah, that was my team. I just want to see the rankings real quick. Who was the highest points? 1,400. I need to see this. Oh, we had Toby Green. Oh, but that wouldn't have counted. Far out. That was perfect. You couldn't have asked a better captain and vice captain. Like this must have been the highest scoring of the round. Went Rail over Anderson. Did the right thing with Meek. Wow. That's fair enough. They did really well choosing that. But yeah, that was my team. Going into next week, I'll make another video of my trade plans and my vice captain. Considering that there's only 4 teams now, I was just checking the players who I can bring in. You can have up to 3 players now from each team. But yeah, thanks for tuning in to the video today of my review of the week 1. Score was 1078. Pretty shit. I'll see you later in the week. Cheers for watching. See ya.